Hey guys, Andrew out here at Hilly Haven Golf Course. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Wanted to talk today about the differences between putting, chipping, and pitching, especially the mechanics of them. So that what I like to tell my students, when you can putt, putt. When you can't putt, chip. And when you can't chip, pitch. And what's the difference between a putt and a chip? The only difference between a putt and a chip is the golf club that you have in your hands. The form, the mechanics, everything, it's going to be exactly the same. So what I like to see when I teach putting and chipping is when we set up our frame, and I like to call it, we create the shape of the letter Y between our two arms and the shaft of the golf club. So we create the shape of the letter Y, and then the angles of that Y, the shape of the letter Y, never changes throughout the whole stroke. So you don't change the angles of your wrists, you don't hinge at all. It's very robotic and very square, and we want a very still lower body. And then what is actually moving the golf club is our shoulders. So this motion right there. And then our arms, our wrists, and the golf club are all just along for the ride, because the more we can eliminate hinges, and hinges are just joints, your elbows, your wrists, your shoulders, our shoulders are always going to be engaged, but the more hinges we can eliminate, the more accurate we are. The only downside of that is we can't get distance without those hinges. But on these short shots, we don't really need the distance. We need the consistency and the accuracy and the centeredness of contact. So, with that being said, for both putting and chipping, we want to create the shape of the letter Y and then hold that shape throughout the whole stroke. The difference between chipping and pitching is that we do add some wrists in there, and we'll chip until we no longer can, until that chipping stroke will no longer get us the distance that we need to accomplish the shot that we're trying to accomplish. So when we pitch, we are going to break our wrists a little bit and add a little wrist hinge in there, but again, as little as possible. And we don't affect change in distance by how hard we hit the golf ball. I've talked about this before, but I wanted to bring it back to the forefront because there was some questions on it. So we don't affect change in distance by how hard we hit the golf ball. We accelerate a constant rate of acceleration through every shot, and as far back as you bring the golf club, let's say it's 3 feet back, I want to see it 3 feet through on the other side. If it's 2 feet back, 2 feet through on the other side, just to ensure that we have that nice follow through and we're accelerating through the shot. So on a pitch, again, 4 feet back, 4 feet through, accelerate through the shot. We don't affect change in distance by how hard we hit it. We affect change in distance by how far we bring it back. So there's the differences between putting, chipping, and pitching. When you can putt, putt. When you can't putt, chip. And when you can't chip, pitch. So if you got any questions on all of this, feel free to give me a shout. Be happy to answer any of them. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see y'all next week.